Hey everybody, it's Beth. Welcome to Infinite Garden. This week I want to talk about how for the last 6 months I've been experimenting with a really tight wardrobe color palette. Specifically, over the last 6 months I have been wearing only and buying only clothes that fall into 3 broad color groups. I have a white to black color group, blue color group, and like a red pink color group. And in the last 6 months, I have not purchased a single item that falls outside of these color palette groups. And I've only been wearing these colors. I've wanted to see what that feels like. Is a restriction problematic? Do I feel confined and restrained by it? Or does it simplify my life and does it make making decisions easier? Let's get into it. Now you might be asking yourself, why would I even do this? Why would I bother restricting myself in terms of choice? One of the primary reasons is that I love simplicity. This extends far beyond my wardrobe, but just in life in general, I personally tend to do better with simplicity versus complexity. It just seems to relax me more, leaves me more free time. I thought maybe if I built a wardrobe based on a limited and tight color palette, maybe it would make choosing clothes and putting outfits together, maybe it would make it more simple. So that was one of the reasons I love simplicity. Number 2, I have begun to understand the power of wearing my best colors. Since letting my hair be its natural gray, I pretty much upended my relationship with clothing color and my own self, because now I have this extremely icy cool hair tone, whereas before I used to dye it kind of warmer blonde or even auburn for a while, and it just completely changed my palette. When I let my icy silver hair come through, it changed what I wanted to wear. And I've noticed that when I'm in my best colors, I can look vibrant and energetic. And when I'm in my wrong colors, it can make me look tired, drained, and very washed out. So knowing that, I've wanted to focus on picking the colors that make me look and feel my best. Number 3, I take my consumption very seriously, and just generally speaking, here on this planet, on Mother Earth, I seek to buy fewer items overall. And I'd like those items to be of better quality so that they can last longer. I find, generally speaking, that better made garments last longer over time. So part of this also means I'm less interested in buying flashy, splashy items that might scratch and itch for novelty at this time. The idea here in part is that a tight color palette might end up being a timeless choice for me, where I can wear these clothes whether or not the colors are in style. They're my colors, so they're always in style for me. Number 4, I want my wardrobe to be maximally coordinated. This means that I can pick and choose items back and forth, day in, day out, mix and match items, make new outfits, and I can give myself that sense of novelty without actually purchasing something new. And I think, generally speaking, if you do reduce yourself down to a few colors, it becomes easier to maximize your wardrobe. Finally, and maybe this piggybacks off of understanding the power of my best colors, I'm also interested in using the colors of my clothing to help communicate a personal brand. And what I mean by that is I want to think about what I'm putting out there, understanding that what's going on inside of me, my internal weather, my internal emotions and thoughts, those aren't always available or obvious to the people out in the world. And if I want my exterior shell to, align and vibe with my interior nature, one way that you can do that is by using color. And so I chose colors that I love, that when I wear them, they make me feel like myself and I feel most comfortable. I feel like they express sort of how I'm feeling on the inside. So let's talk about the colors that I chose. The first color group I chose was white to black, and I know that there's a huge variation here, but what I'm mostly saying is that I'm tending to pick cooler shades of white to black and gray. So I have found over time that in looking at pictures of myself, that I usually like how I look when I'm wearing black, and I usually like how I look especially when I'm wearing like a charcoal gray. Charcoal has turned out to be a really great color for me, and it's one that I'm planning to add more of to my wardrobe this fall and next winter. I want to add a couple of really great charcoal sweater pieces. I know that I have always looked good in white, but I've been afraid to wear white in some cases because I just didn't feel like I could handle it. I was worried about ruining my clothes. So in order to combat that, for the white piece, because I really want to wear white, I'm trying to be more mindful and careful while I'm wearing white, which is good. It, helps me with my table manners and just generally thinking about what I'm leaning up against. It helps me be more present in the moment. And I'm just choosing to make white work for me because I want to wear it. I can't be afraid of it anymore. The next color group is blue, the blue family. Where I started originally when I said I was going to pick one of these colors is I told myself all blues. And most blues really are great on me. I wear a ton of navy. This dress right here is a deep navy blue. When I look at myself in pictures where I'm wearing navy, I feel like it makes my skin look peachier and more even, and I feel like myself in it. It feels kind of formal and grounded, a little, classy and serious, but it's great for the summertime. What I've also noticed is that I love how I look in medium vibrant blues. I love how I look in light blue, but it has to have a clarity. What I'm also learning is that when my blues are blackened or grayed, sometimes that's not necessarily my favorite. I don't necessarily look my best. I'm finding that the more vivid and clear those blues are, the better. The third color group I'm working with are reds and pinks. So specifically in this case, again, I think I like best the way I look in vivid reds, vivid bright reds. They can be a little warm, they can be a little cool, but really as close to neutral and true red as possible. It seems to be great on me. Pink is an extremely comfortable garment choice color for me. I love it in warm kind of peachy pinks. I love it in vivid bright pinks, and I really love wearing coral. So these are the three color groups that I've landed on. So you can see just by looking at all of these little swatches together as an example of the palette, you can see that these colors actually feel pretty good together. It almost looks like there's a rainbow when you follow the reds through to the blue. You're almost achieving a rainbow effect, even though in theory it's really only two different color groups. And by adding the white through the black color family, you effectively have a three-legged stool, a really foundational set of colors to build any wardrobe from. And so this is how I have been doing this. What I have found is that by nailing down this particular color palette, it has kept me from shopping unnecessarily. If I find a beautiful item I like in a color that I love, but it's outside of this color palette, I can pretty quickly decide not to purchase it, which is great for me. I've also found that these colors really do mix and match beautifully. It has allowed me to feel confident in mixing and matching. I know that if I put on my vivid green-blue skirt, that I don't have to worry about just wearing black with it, which I think maybe in the past might have been my only comfortable color. I now know for sure that a kind of cool cream or bright white looks fantastic with that blue. So does navy, so does gray. These colors all look fantastic together. Choosing this color palette gave me the courage to purchase a coral pantsuit when it became available. This is from The Fold. This color is geranium. And I know for a fact that a past me would have passed on this suit because it would have felt too bright. Maybe I wouldn't be able to wear it with other things. It would have felt like potentially a splurge and maybe even a waste. But what I have learned is that by purchasing a vivid, bold item in separates, that's part of my color palette, means actually that I now have more pieces to mix and match. The coral jacket could go well with a black skirt because the jacket does have black buttons, and so that actually coordinates really beautifully. I can also wear those coral pants with a white shirt. I can wear it with a navy shirt, and it all looks fantastic together. This color palette is allowing me to take some risks and still have fun. And I'm finding myself more willing to have fun with color than I was when I didn't limit myself. I think having all of the colors available to me before still led me right back to black and navy primarily. I've also found that getting dressed in the mornings a lot faster for me because I can just lean on these colors. So while it's not exactly a uniform, because it's so tightly coordinated, I do find that it's easy to pick and pull from my wardrobe and put an outfit together quickly, which is really important for me. I'm not really much of a morning person, and I don't want to think a lot about my clothes in the morning, especially if I'm heading into work. I don't want to spend a half an hour stressing out about how that outfit is going to come together. And buying items in this tight color palette has really helped me move quickly in the morning and feel great about how I look when I leave the house. Finally, one thing that's also come into focus for me is my accessory colors. So I've always been one to wear a lot of black, and so having black shoes and black handbags is normal for me. I always have that. But it was always a little bit challenging for me because I don't necessarily wear a lot of brown and warm tones, and I didn't know what to do about, items where maybe a black bag is too heavy or somber. I didn't ever really find the brown accessories that I liked. And this color palette has helped me find a solution to that. So now if I'm wearing navy, especially navy in the summer, maybe I don't want to wear black with navy, what I have found is that what works beautifully is this blush colored pink leather. This bag is from Shinola, it's from many years ago. But my blush pink Birkenstocks, and now I am appropriately coordinated, I think, with a navy dress without having to throw myself off by wearing brown. So I found that if I'm wearing white or pink in my accessories, that takes the place of brown and it fits perfectly in my color palette. It's perfect. So does this mean that I've banished other colors from my wardrobe? No, it doesn't mean that. I still do have some other colors. I really like to wear green, and I even don't mind a little bit of bright yellow. This is a fabulous mustard cotton sweater, and this is a bright emerald green cotton sweater. It's a pretty wrap sweater. I still have these and I'll still wear them. But what has become clear to me as I have reduced the color palette that I'm working with is that I understand why these colors are a little bit harder for me to wear now. They feel a little outside of myself and they feel a little obvious. So sometimes when I'm wearing them, I feel like I'm working just a little bit harder to pull them off, whereas I feel totally at home and at peace in my reds and pinks, my blues, and my whites, grays, and blacks. I think that I'm probably going to stick with this color palette as my guiding principle for the foreseeable future. I guess that's all I can ever say. But what I like the most about it, it has reduced my need to shop. I especially noticed it with accessories. I'm very picky about shoes and handbags, and they're so expensive that what I don't want to have to do is purchase shoes for a single outfit. If I'm going to purchase a great pair of super comfortable, well-made shoes, I want them to work with everything. And again, this color palette is a way of getting there. Handbags are an absolute racket. I personally don't want to have a lot of handbags. I want to have a couple. I want to have what I need. I want to take care of those things, and I want to hang on to them as long as possible. And so again, I find that this color palette has allowed me to deploy my accessories more efficiently and in the end to save my money while still looking great and well put together. What do you think of this concept? Is this something that you practice in your own life as well? Or is this something that seems like a chore and a confining nightmare to you? Let me know in the comments. You know I love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. If you want to hang out again, please consider subscribing. I post videos on Sunday. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well out there, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Talk soon.